You see, self-image, it impacts our view of who we are, which impacts it impacts what we do in life. It creates a litany of issues, of emotional problems, feelings of inferiority, feelings of worthlessness, uselessness, an inability to measure up, walking in fear of failure, and watching our confidence dissipate, just kind of take off with the blowing wind like dust. Low self-esteem can cause physical issues. It can create the groundwork for anorexia, bulimia, issues of cutting, the use of steroids, sexual confusion. All of these are related to having poor self-esteem. Now, all of those things that I mentioned earlier are not always wrong. Not every issue about our self-esteem is improper, because you do want to care about your appearance. You want to take care of your body, especially when you stop growing taller. It's the only way you keep growing is wider. It's just this funny thing that happens, isn't it? So our body is God's temple. The problem that arises when these things become our motivation, though, is when we hit issues. And that issue of poor self-image is a really, really big issue. You see, self-image affects our relationships with other people, how we perceive them, and how we present an image that they perceive. We usually have trouble relating to others when we look at ourselves poorly. We don't want to communicate because we're afraid they're going to reject us. We're afraid that they're going to shut us down. We're afraid that they're going to walk away. We obsess over seeking approval. We obsess and withdraw from the fear of rejection. This is a trait of humanity. You see, deep, authentic relationships, they can be elusive. Hard to find, hard to maintain, hard to hold on to. We use others to boost our self-esteem instead of serving others to encourage them in the Lord. Stepping on people rather than helping them. We isolate ourselves from others because we don't feel good about ourselves. The worst thing about a low self-image is that it affects our relationship, not just with others, and not even with ourselves, but with God. You see, when we have a poor self-image about ourselves, trusting God becomes an impossibility. Because we think, how could he possibly care for someone like me? Why would he want to interfere in my life? Why would he want to come and walk with me? It leads to the harboring of resentment toward God. It's like, I know you're not going to do anything for me, so why even bother? Why even try? Yes, I know you're God. I know I'm supposed to trust you, but I don't. So I'm going to manage things my way because I know you won't be there for me. That's the attitude of a whole lot of people. Internal questions begin to rise within us like, you should have made me taller. Or if you're tall, you should have made me shorter. You should have made me skinnier. Or you should have made me heavier. You don't want to be the 98-pound weakling, and you don't want to be a lump. You should have made me prettier. You should have made me stronger. Why'd I have to work so hard to have muscle tone? Why is my treadmill so much better for hanging clothes on? It's just so easy. And once it's covered, how can you use it? Why not, God? God, really? Really? Are you serious? This family? This school? This town? This state? This governor, wait. Why did he call us to Texas? Oh. Hey, I'm telling you one thing. I'm really glad my wife and I were delivered from Santa Cruz. And not only is it one of the most liberal spots in America, but they had a tornado yesterday. Can you believe that? Santa Cruz, California. Santa Cruz by the beach. Redwoods. Mountains and hills. They had a tornado yesterday. It was a pretty good sized one. Injured a bunch of people. The drones did it. It's Donald Trump's fault, I know it. Oh. We have these, this. Should have been smarter. Should have been more musical. Should have been more athletic. All of these shoulda, woulda, couldas, right? Is that like we often think? I mean, I look at these guitar players and I say, I should have, I could have, I will. And then I try, and my wife says, stay away from the instruments. Stay away from the worship team. She puts that little yellow tape around me and says, don't cross the line. And as we're going through those litany of things of the smarter, more musical, more talented, more athletic, in the midst of that of thinking about these things, it's at those moments where Isaiah 45:9 pops up. Woe to him who strives with his maker. Woe to him who strives with his maker. Really, God? Let the potsherd strive with the potsherds of the earth. Shall the clay say to him who forms it, what are you making? Or shall your handiwork say, he has no hands? Whereas Paul puts it in Romans 9:20, but indeed, O man, who are you to reply against God? Will the thing formed say to him who formed it, why have you made me like this?